Hi everybody, and welcome to our virtual story time brought to you by the Bethany Public Library. Since our brick and mortar building is closed for a while, we're bringing this to you by way of our digital branch of the library. I'm here at home and I want to share some stories and songs and a little activity with all the kiddos out there and their parents or grandparents. And we'll have a little fun time today. Now, usually when we start out our story time, we have a couple songs, and the kids that come regularly know fairly well what these songs might be. And all I have to do is play the first couple notes of this one particular song, and they're right there joining in. Skidamarink. Okay? So that's going to be our first song, and it goes like this. You ready? Skidamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skidamarink-a-doo. I love you and you and you. Skidamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skidamarink-a-doo. I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening and underneath the moon. Oh, skidamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skidamarink-a-doo. I love you. You ready? Let's do it one more time. Okay, here goes. Skidamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skidamarink-a-doo. I love you. Skidamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skidamarink-a-doo. I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening and underneath the moon. Oh, skidamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skidamarink-a-doo. I love you. That was great, kids. Wasn't that fun? Okay, now the next one we do without any extra music, just using our own voices and our hands. And it's called a Ram Sam Sam. And we clap our hands and we roll our hands and we do something like Skidamarink, and it goes like this. And if you can't do that, just wave your hands any old which way, and that's fine too. Okay, and it goes like this. A Ram Sam Sam, a Ram Sam Sam, Gooly 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 Ram Sam Sam, a Ram Sam Sam, a Ram Sam Sam, Gooly 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 Ram Sam Sam, Salami Pastrami, Gooly 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 Ram Sam Sam, Salami Pastrami, Gooly 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 Ram Sam Sam. I hope you didn't get too confused with that. Sometimes you clap when you should be rolling your hands and the other way around. All right, now we're going to have a couple stories about magic. The first one is Sylvester and the Magic Pebble. Okay, so let me get up close so you can see the pictures. Sylvester and the Magic Pebble by William Steig. There's Sylvester. Look what he's found. A little pebble. This is where Sylvester lives with his mother and his dad, and he loves to collect pebbles of unusual colors and shape. They live in a place on Acorn Road in Oatesdale. On a rainy Saturday during vacation, he found quite an extraordinary pebble. It was flaming red and perfectly round like a marble. As he was studying this remarkable pebble, he began to shiver, probably from excitement, and the rain felt cold on his back. I wish it would stop raining, he said. See, it's a rainy, gray day when he found that pebble, but he made a wish. To his great surprise, the rain stopped, It didn't stop gradually as rains usually do. It ceased. The drops vanished on the way down. The clouds disappeared. Everything was dry, and the sun was shining as if the rain had never existed. Look at it. It's a sunny day. Whoa, what does Sylvester think about that? In all his young life, Sylvester had never had a wish gratified so quickly. It struck him that magic must be at work, and he guessed that the magic must be in the remarkable-looking red pebble, where indeed it was. To make a test, he put the pebble on the ground and said, "I wish it would rain again," but nothing happened. But when he said the same thing holding the pebble in his hoof, the sky turned black, there was lightning and a clap of thunder, and the rain came shooting down. He got his wish. What a lucky day this is, thought Sylvester. From now on, I can have anything I want. My father and mother can have anything they want. My relatives, my friends, and anybody at all can have everything anybody wants. He wished the sunshine back in the sky, and it did. It came back. He was eager to amaze his mother and father with his magic pebble. He could hardly wait to see their faces. Maybe they wouldn't even believe him at first. So he started for home. As he was crossing Strawberry Hill, thinking of the many, many things he could wish for, he was startled to see a mean, hungry lion looking right at him from behind some tall grass. He was frightened. If he hadn't been so frightened, he could have made the lion disappear. Or he could have wished himself home, safe, with his mother and father. He could have wished the lion turned into a butterfly, or a daisy, or a goat. He could have wished many things. But he panicked, and he couldn't think carefully. "I wish I were a rock," he said, and he became a rock. The lion came bounding over, sniffing the rock, going around it, round and round, and then the lion went away, confused, perplexed, puzzled, and bewildered. "I saw that little donkey here as clear as day. Maybe I'm going crazy," he muttered. And there was Sylvester, a rock on Strawberry Hill, with the magic pebble lying right beside him on the ground. And he was unable to pick it up. "Oh, how I wish I were myself again," he thought, but nothing happened. He had to be touching the pebble to make the magic work, but there was nothing he could do about it. His thoughts began to race like mad. He was scared and worried. Being helpless, he felt hopeless. He imagined all the possibilities, and eventually he realized that the only chance of becoming himself again was for someone to find the red pebble and to wish that the rock next to it would be a donkey. Someone would surely find the red pebble. It was so bright and shiny. But what on earth would make someone wish that a rock were a donkey? The chance was a 1 in a billion at best. Sylvester fell asleep. What else could he do? Night came with many stars. Meanwhile, back at home, Mr. and Mrs. Duncan paced the floor, frantic with worry. Sylvester had never come home later than dinner time. Where could he be? They stayed up all night wondering what had happened, expecting that Sylvester would surely turn up by morning. But he didn't, of course. Mrs. Duncan cried a lot, and Mr. Duncan did his best to soothe her. Both longed to have their dear son with them. "I will never scold Sylvester again, as long as I live, no matter what he does," said Mrs. Duncan. At dawn, they went about inquiring of all the neighbors. "Have you seen our son?" They talked to all the children, the puppies, the kittens, the colts, the piglets. No one had seen Sylvester since the day before yesterday. Where's Sylvester? Nobody knows. They went to the police. The police could not find their child. Oh no, not even the police can find them. All the dogs in Oatsdale went searching for him. They snuffed behind every rock and tree and blade of grass, into every nook and gully of the neighborhood and beyond, but found not a scent of him. They sniffed the rock on Strawberry Hill, but it smelled like a rock. It didn't smell like a donkey named Sylvester. After a month of searching the same places over and over again and inquiring of the same animals over and over again, Mr. and Mrs. Duncan no longer knew what to do. They concluded that something dreadful must have happened, that they would probably never see their son again, though all the time he was less than a mile away. Oh, will we ever see him again? They tried their best to be happy, to go about their usual ways, but their usual ways included Sylvester, and they were always reminded of him. They were miserable. Life had no meaning for them anymore. Oh, his parents are kind of feeling lousy. I miss their boy. Night followed day, and day followed night over and over again. Sylvester on the hill, as a rock, woke up less and less often. When he was awake, he was only hopeless and unhappy. He felt he would be a rock forever. He tried to get used to it. He went into an endless sleep. The days grew colder. Fall came with the leaves changing color. Then the leaves fell and the grass bent to the ground. Oh goodness, the seasons are changing. And he's still up on the hill, still a rock. Then it was winter. The winds blew this way and that. It snowed. Mostly the animals stayed indoors, living on the food they had stored up. One day, a wolf sat on the rock that was Sylvester and howled because he was hungry and cold. Then the snows melted. The earth warmed up in the spring, and things budded. Leaves were on the trees again. Flowers showed their young faces. And there's still a great big rock up on Strawberry Hill. We know what it really is, though, don't we? Poor Sylvester. But one day in May, Mr. Duncan insisted that his wife go with him on a picnic. "Let's cheer up," he said. "Let us try to live again and be happy, even though Sylvester, our angel, is no longer with us." They went, guess where? To Strawberry Hill. Mrs. Duncan sat down on the rock. The warmth of his own mother sitting on him woke Sylvester up from his deep sleep, his deep winter sleep. How he wanted to shout, "Mother, Father, it's me, Sylvester, I'm right here." But he couldn't talk. He had no voice. He was a stone. Stones don't talk. Mr. Duncan walked aimlessly about while Mrs. Duncan set out the picnic food on the rock. Alfalfa sandwiches, pickled oats, sassafras salad, Timothy compote, food that donkeys love. Suddenly, Mr. Duncan saw the red pebble. Look, he sees the pebble right there. What a fantastic pebble, he says. Sylvester would have loved this for his collection. He put the pebble on the rock, which is Sylvester. They're touching now. They sat down to eat. Sylvester was now as wide awake as a donkey that was a rock could possibly be. Mrs. Duncan felt some sort of mysterious excitement. "You know, Father," she said suddenly, "I have the strangest feeling that our dear Sylvester is still alive and not very far away." I am, Sylvester wanted to shout, but he couldn't. If only he had realized that the pebble resting on his back was the magic pebble. See it right there? There it is. Oh, how I wish he were here with us on this beautiful May day, said Mrs. Duncan. Mr. Duncan looked at her sadly and said, "Don't you wish it too, Father?" He looked at her as if to say, "How can you ask such a question?" Mr. and Mrs. Duncan looked at each other with great sorrow. "I wish I were myself again. I wish I were my real self again," thought Sylvester. And in less than an instant, he was. There he is. Ta-da-ta-da! The rock that became a donkey. You can imagine the scene that followed, the embraces, the kisses, the questions, the answers, the loving looks. Oh, joy! Yay! Sylvester's back and in the arms of his parents, and it's a sunny day. Oh, joy, oh, joy. Whew. When they eventually calmed down a little bit and had gotten home, Mr. Duncan put the magic pebble in an iron safe. Someday they might want to use it, but really, for now, what more could they wish for? They had all they ever wanted. The end. They had each other. Now from Sylvester and his magic pebble. That's quite a story, isn't it? Imagine if you turned into a rock. You had to have somebody come back and put the magic pebble on top of you and turn you back into yourself again. Just so you could be with your parents who really loved you. Well, this next story is called The Magic Hat. And it's by a woman named Mem Fox. Oh, look what's happening with all the kids and the magic hat. Let's find out what happens in this story. There it is. The magic hat. Ooh, look, it's blowing all over the pages. There it is. One fine day from out of town and without any warning at all. Isn't that a lovely little village that everybody lives in there? What a beautiful place to live. Without any warning at all, there appeared a magic hat. Oh, goodness gracious. It's blowing all over the place. Where's it going to land? Oh, the magic hat, the magic hat. It moved like this, it moved like that. It spun through the air and over a road and sat on the head of a warty old man. A warty old toad. Oh, the magic hat, the magic hat. It moved like this, it moved like that. It spun through the air. Look at it spinning. Like a bouncing balloon, and sat on the head of a hairy what? Baboon. Oh, the magic hat, the magic hat. It moved like this, it moved like that. It spun through the air from way over there and sat on the head of a sleepy old what? Sleepy old man on a park bench? No, a sleepy old bear who got up and danced. Oh, the magic hat, the magic hat. It moved like this, it moved like that. It spun through the air. It's true, it's true. And sat on the head of a lady with babies? No, a kangaroo. Oh, the magic hat, the magic hat. It moved like this, it moved like that. It spun through the air for 1.5 miles. Look at it go way up high. For 1.5 miles, it sat on the head of a lofty, what do you think? Giraffe. Wow. There it is, on the head of the giraffe. And then, with a skip, and then with a hop. Whew. Who's coming to town now? A wizard appeared with a sign that said, "Stop!" Here's his little sign. Looks little, but it's just because he's so big. And he says, "Stop." Look at, there's the giraffe and the baboon and the bear, the kangaroo. All the animals that the people were turned into by the magic hat. Look how great big that wizard is. He's enormous. I wonder if he put the magic hat on at one time. Oh, let's find out. So everyone stopped and stared in surprise at the wonderful wizard with sparkling eyes, who took from his beard, with a nod and a wink, a wand which he waved. And what do you think? The toad, the baboon, the bear, and the kangaroo, and of course the giraffe, oh, what a to-do, turned back into people, dazed and confused, watched by a crowd that was highly amused. There they are, back to people again, right there. While no one was looking, oh, what did he do? He's picked it up, hasn't he? Put it in his pocket. When no one was looking, the wizard meanwhile skipped out of town with a mischievous smile. And of course, on his head was the fabulous hat. The magic hat. He's about to put it on, this great big wizard with sparkly eyes and great big feet and long tall hat. He's putting the magic hat on his head. It looks so tiny. And the hat was the one that made all the magic wherever it went. he put the hat on. He's a little boy skipping down the road. Oh, joy. The end. Well, where might we find some magic next? I'm going to share with you a little activity that has just a touch of magic in it. And this is how it goes. For those of you who are in our Storytime group, I emailed you the directions of how you can do this. There are a lot of places where you can find this out. It's a very simple sort of thing. And yesterday, actually, no, by the time you're seeing this, it will have been Tuesday of this week, was National Crayon Day. So, what we did was make some paper flowers, and then we colored them with crayons, and now I'm going to show you the magic. Okay, let me get set up here just a second. So, here's the flower, right? Here's the flower, and it's all folded up just like you learn in your directions. And what I'm going to do is put it in a little bowl of water. And let's see what happens. It's going to take a minute. It has to absorb the water. Oh, what's going on? Is it magic? What's happening? Look, it's growing. It's unfolding. Wow. Look. Oh my goodness. This is a little tricky for me. You can tell, huh? Well, you get the idea, kids? Anyhow, that's my little magic activity for you for this week. Okay? So I'm going to say goodbye for now. And I hope there's lots of hugs and smiles to go around for everybody, because that's the best thing of all. Who needs magic when you have each other? Okay? Have a good week, everybody. Hope to see you next time. Bye.